So I also run the Machine Ethics podcast. It's on iTunes and you can download it, and it's also got a website. And I've just released the 21st episode today, and this is just a little rundown about what I've learned doing this podcast and why I started doing this podcast about machine ethics. I did a talk back in Shoreditch in 2011 about IoT, which was a very small thing at the time, about IoT and security. And when I was talking to people, everyone was more concerned about IoT and how the impact of it would be on society. So I changed my talk from the IoT and security to machine ethics and kind of like how, the ethics of AI and autonomous systems. This is kind of a Venn diagram which represents kind of business design data and implementation, like algorithms. And that's kind of how I feel about the situation at the moment. When I first started it, it was called the Machine Ethics Podcast. It's a bit of a misnomer now that I've realised 2 years on, because machine ethics is actually its own field of academia, which is concerned with building algorithms that have moral action. So the whole point of the algorithms are to make moral decisions. Whereas the way I was thinking about machine ethics was actually kind of technology ethics. So it's kind of like how you should feel about being a person that codes and how that code should run and being, doing things well. This is the one you should check out. 18, go to episode 18 is the best episode to start with if you go. This is the problem with these things. So episode 18 is the beginner's guide to everything you need to know about AI and ethics and how it works, like literally how it works. So go see that. Callum Chase was the second person I interviewed, and he was really interesting because he basically, thanks, he basically said that I chose the wrong title, and in his face, because it literally blew up like just 2 years later, and everyone's talking about technology ethics and machine ethics and stuff like that. So Callum Chase is great. He's got a couple of books out, one non-fiction about kind of AI and how he thinks the economy is going to go. It's really interesting. And then if you keep pressing right, you might get to some more slides. Give it a refresh. That's it. If you give it give it a refresh, you might not have downloaded the related stuff. On the little arrow at the top there. Love it.
Which arrow?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. You might have. Yeah, and then go next. Yes, classic. Okay. So Callum Chase is great, but I'm really pleased how things turned out after he said that I was doing the wrong thing. Cosmo Gretton was a great interviewee, so I'm moving into kind of all the two people in the podcast now. She's a doctor, and it's really interesting to hear about technology in medicine and how difficult that is to get new technologies in, and how simple technologies can make a massive impact. These two people were talking about autonomous cars from a legal point of view and also insurance point of view. Even though the insurance point of view I kind of care less about, it's still really super interesting what they have to say about who's going to pay for what and when, and how the situation is going to work, especially for businesses. Joanna Bryson, does anyone know about Joanna Bryson? Yeah, so she is like the most militant, like AI is this thing person ever. She's works at Bath, she's a professor there, and she basically says that robots are slaves and tools, and that's it. There's no argument there. AI and robots are slaves, you can all bugger off basically. It's really great, and she's got her thing. Rob is all about transparency. So his thing was making robots and AI systems that basically told you about their thinking, told you what their capacity was, their capabilities were. So you're not in the dark when you're streamed online or your Wi-Fi signals getting picked up by robots and things. It will tell you. It just tells you. So his work is really interesting. Alan Winfield is also big in this area. His thing is about how we model animals and human interaction in robots and learn more about those things. Susan and Michael Anderson basically wrote the book Machine Ethics, and they produce algorithms which are basically trying to put moral thinking into some sort of system. They usually work with medical robots moving in between patients in hospitals. Luciano Floridi is one of the most recent professors they're not all professors, but the most recent person I've interviewed, and he was awesome because he's basically doing this for like 20 years. And his thing is like information philosophy is the philosophy of now, of like our time. So that was really interesting. Tim Taylor is my latest episode, which we're on today, and that's all about kind of AI and culture. So this was about who was talking about AI before the 1950s, and the next episode would be post-1950s. So this is one of the things that really annoys me about the subject is the trolley problem. Has anyone heard the trolley problem? Yeah. Okay. So the trolley problem is a misnomer in this instance because I've made a video for this, and this is the video. You can't program a machine to know every single outcome of physics of the entire universe. It doesn't work. We just don't have computing power for that. So what people think is a binary decision is actually this. This is the decisions that these cars are making all the time. So most people have a confusion about what computers are actually doing, and that is problematic. I'm writing a paper at the moment with all these lovely professors, and then this guy is like Professor so-and-so, Professor so-and-so, and then Ben Byford, and then Professor, which is ridiculous. But this is all in a paper about why we should be doing more to learn more about how we can make more realistic machines. And this is my final slide, and this is what I'm doing now, which is I'm trying to make money out of all my knowledge and consult with businesses about implementing AI. Thank you. Oh yeah, sorry, anyone got any questions?
What's the trolley problem?
Do you want to get us out? Yeah. So, the trolley problem is an ethical dilemma made to simulate how people react in certain circumstances. So the idea is that you have one person on a train, and you're going towards 5 people on the track, and you know that you won't be able to stop in time before those people are going to be in danger of their lives. But you have, as the person on the train, one option to change the track onto a different track where there's one person. So what do? Do you change the track and take out one person, or do you like abstain and not do anything and put the 5 people in danger? And this is a classical thought experiment, right? Where what we're actually looking at is how people think about these circumstances, not the circumstance itself. And people at the moment are equating the trolley problem as real life, how automated machines are going to work. And that's not the case. So they're conflating those two things, and they're just not the same. This is a thought experiment which is interesting to see if people are mostly utilitarian or mostly, rational or irrational, whatever. And this is, we've got roads and they have snow, it's like total mad, like totally different physical world which we have to do things in, which never go down to a decision which is either A or B, kill this person, that person, save the person in the car, not save the person in the car. It just doesn't work like that. So that was my beef, basically. But it's easy in the press to just go, our car's going to kill us.
Does it not work like that? I think let's say you had an automated car, just have a driving car.
Yes.
And you're driving, just going down the road. I think I've read the classic story.
Yep.
A baby falls off a bridge.
Yep.
And the choice of the car is kill the baby or dive it off, crash into the bridge, and you're probably
How does the car
die.
know that there's a baby coming at it? How does the car know that if it swerves, someone else is going to be in danger? How does it know any of this stuff?
But won't it at some point?
No, it's not clever enough to do that. It just isn't.
Maybe not now.
Yeah, we might be having this conversation in 20 years' time, and we can justifiably say that we've tagged every single person on the planet with a... You know what I mean? Like, it will get to that point. It's just no easy way of going, that's a person, that isn't a person. You put on a fancy dress costume, you're suddenly not a person. You could get run over. Like, that's the reality of it today, So people need to start thinking of it in a different way, and that different way for me is these are like clever trains basically, and they need to be in a lane, you know, and you don't step out into that lane because you're going to get run over. And we could do all this today, and we could have an automated city. Bob's your uncle. But that's not a capitalist opportunity for these companies. Anyway, so I could talk about this at length, but I'm now going to introduce Kat, who's going to talk about something similar but very different.